How is Africa means to you?
Africa, for me, it feels like home.
Okay.
Now, do I know exactly what country I came from or stemmed from? No, but it feels like home. It's like it feels like my second home. Each African country, though, has a whole different culture. Of course, Morocco is definitely different. North Africa, Egypt is definitely different from, you know, east or west or
West or south.
south. So every country has its own little cultural
Cultural
swag with
swag.
it. I mean, a lot of different
Any culture shock
languages.
in different African countries?
Well, the first time, okay, let me just say this. In Maryland, DC, and Virginia,
Okay.
DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia,
Okay.
I grew up with a lot of culture. That's one thing that I have to thank God for. My
Okay.
parents put me in a environment where I was around everybody.
Oh,
So we
okay.
were around Asians, we were around just everybody from
Everybody,
everywhere.
different countries.
So I didn't feel uncomfortable
Okay.
because I grew up with everybody.
Okay.
Like it was a big old mixing bowl.
Mm.
But going to some countries as an adult, yeah, okay, the do's and the don'ts. I
Mm-hmm.
always recommend doing your research before you go
Mm-hmm.
so you're not disrespecting the people there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean each country gave me a different perspective on it, you
Mm. And
know.
how were you able to navigate yourself within all those African countries that you were in?
I use Facebook groups, a lot of Facebook groups of travelers.
Okay.
Um, I used my daggone Google Translator because I
Hey.
do not know French.
Okay.
um, and one thing I realized, no matter what, you can get around where you need to get around, and everybody know about that money.
Mm.
Whether it's whatever, they know about that Durham, that CD, that Safa, whatever. They know about that money, and
Mm.
people are helpful.
Okay.
People are definitely helpful. They will help you get around for
Okay.
sure. So I never felt, and I'm a solo traveler, so I never felt that, I was like yeah, I know I'm in a foreign land or whatever, but I'm comfortable. Right. I don't feel out of place and I'm comfortable.
And you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
You've been to so many African countries. Have you ever felt like this country made me felt like I'm a foreigner to that country?
Me personally, no, I never felt
You
like a
never felt.
foreigner. No. I mean,
They never treat you in a weird way, like maybe any African country.
the only treatment I would say as I mean, you get the looks, you
Okay.
get the stares, but nobody is going to like say anything to you or disrespect you. But
Mm-hmm.
then I know how to move as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
know how to dress, I know how to be respectful, I
Mm-hmm.
know how to, like when I'm out in a country where they don't speak English,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to find me talking. I'll nod
Mm-hmm.
my head. Like I try to stay real low key to not bring attention amongst myself.
Mm.
So no, I don't. I mean, the only time, I mean, I don't. But what I would say is, let's say if I am out talking and
Mm-hmm.
somebody hears me talking, they'll be like, "Oh, oh, where's she?" You know. So you
Okay.
kind of get the looks.
Okay.
But if I do too much talking or whatever, the only thing will be is, "Oh, she's a foreigner. Give us some money."
Wow. All the African countries?
All of them.
Wow. Really?
All of them, all of them. But if I stay low key and I'm dressing like the people, they think I'm them. They think I'm them.
So it's really important to, when you go to a room, do what Romans do, right?
Yes, very important, especially if you want to learn the culture and you want to really be involved with the people. Now, if you just want to travel and go see the
Mm.
luxurious spots and all that other stuff, do what you do. But for me, I like to be amongst the people, so I have to move a bit differently.
Do you believe in Pan Africanism?
I do.
Why?
Because I just feel that I respect everybody's kind of thing. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So
No, I don't know what you mean.
I can't say that I'm I respect it. I would say that.
Mhm.
So believing or trying to be into that,
Okay.
I may not be or I can be, you
Mhm.
know, I have my will to do if I choose, but I
Mhm.
just try to respect everybody. So if you're into that, if you're not into that, but for me, I'm just more of an overall humanitarian.
Okay.
Yes, and I don't try to put myself in a clique or in a box.
What does Pan Africa means to you?
Well, I guess Pan Africa means to me is it all of Africa being united, right?
Yeah.
Right. So all of Africa being united. But the thing of that is, yes, we would want all of Africa to be united, but you have to remember that Africa is broken down tremendously by culture, by religion, by sexual preferences. Like it goes by politics, by it goes really, really deep. So it's like, how do you pan it all together
Together.
when everybody is not all the same? So
Wow.
does one put aside their beliefs to become a part of the pan, or how would that work? Or because a lot of times, that's why I say I respect everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be considered a pan or not,
No.
because it's broken up. It's broken up so much.
How do we fix it if it's broken up so much?
It comes down to, for me, I would say knowing who you are, knowing who we are as a country, um, respecting the country and the cultures and the differences. I do know in certain things there's rules,
Yeah.
there's do's and there's don'ts, and that's why I say you can choose if you want to be in it or if you don't want to be in it. But because um, through media and through, I feel a lot of countries chasing another country's dream or another country's opportunity, it sets things back. So the first step would be to come together as Africa, is to bring the resources together. Politically, when it comes, or financially, when it comes to anything money, I mean, you can ask me right now.
Yeah.
Can I invest $10,000 into your business? I'm gonna have to think about that.
Why?
That's a lot of money. Like it's
But you're
a
gonna get
long
your
time.
you're gonna get your
You
interest.
never know, but you never know.
Oh,
You
okay.
see what I'm saying? But not saying that it can't be done.
Okay.
The problem is, even if you're asking for a little, let's say $100, let's say
Yeah.
just 20
To-
US
yeah.
dollars. 20 US dollars is nothing. We about to spend more than that, right? But the mentality of people not even want to give you 20, because if I give him 20 and all these other people are giving him 20, he's going to have all the money.
He
And
or
what are we?
she.
He or
He or
she
she.
is going to have all the money.
Yeah.
And why are we giving it to him? And we can't trust him to do what he say he's
He
going
or
to do.
she.
Or he or she. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Do you know can represent he and her? Do you know that?
I know, right?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, he or she, let's get this together, okay? You know, they're so concerned about all the other things
Yeah.
to where they ain't even thinking it's just $5 or it's just
Yeah.
$10 or it's just $20. They're more thinking like crabs in a barrel. Like we're all here at the bottom. We help him out. He's here at the top. And what is he going to do? Is he going to give us our money back, or are we going to be at loss? You see, because it has happened. So it's not like it's like, oh, just
Yeah.
the first time and blah blah blah. No, it happens continuously. So I don't know. I wish I had the answer to that, but it's so much.
Leave your comments in the comment section. You understand? Leave your comments in the comment section. Do you think it's really necessary for us to support ourselves in terms of business, in terms of investing in ourselves to grow up together?
Absolutely. And I think it has to happen. And it has to happen for our children. One thing that people don't realize, yeah, we're all out here hustling, bustling, but when we are on our back and we need help, it's these kids that are going to be our doctors and our nurses and all this other stuff. If we're not putting into them, then what are we going to have when we need it? And I also think that it comes down to not being selfish.
Do you think we are selfish? Do you think we don't support ourselves?
I think everybody has a little selfishness in them. And I will say selfishness in being, I have to do this for myself. This is my house. This is my car. The sharing is caring is kind of gone. I should only be supporting maybe people in my family and not foreigners, or not really foreigners, but not strangers, I should say. We all have a little selfishness in us. And I think it's due to fear.
If you have a message for African Americans, for the diaspora, for Africans, for everybody watching you right now, traveling to different African countries, what message will you like to leave for them?
The first message I would like to leave, and this is coming from a traveler standpoint as well. I know that people like to go travel, see, explore, but also while you're doing that, have a little stash on the side for the people. Maybe go to a village, go to an orphanage, just go do something for a family for a month, or it's all about give back. Because I believe even though our ancestors and we landed over in the States or UK or whatever, when we come back, we shouldn't come back empty handed. No, we can't save the whole country, but doing something for a family, giving this or bringing clothes or doing something to show, okay, I didn't just come to take your resources, to use up all your water, to use up all your lights and do all this, but I did come to visit you and give you something too. Now, can I continue to do it? We don't really know, honey, because we all out here trying to keep our jobs as well. But that is what I would say. When you come to visit, come with an open mind, and really, be amongst the people and get to know how the country is ran and how it really is.
Is Africa safe to travel to?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Did
I
you
always
ever?
felt safe.
You always.
Yes, because when I'm not ever going to be scared of someone that looks like me. I don't know. I'm not. No. I always felt safe.
And you say how many African countries have you been so
It's
far?
about 9.
It's now. Still counting? Will you be counting?
Yeah,
more?
I'm going to be counting more for sure. Waiting for these flight tickets to go down because I'm a frugal traveler.
Like, if someone will ask you, like, in terms of eating, you understand, how is it like for you? Like, how was it for you to navigate yourself in terms of food aspects in different African country? Were you able to get what you want in that African country that you went to? How did you be able to stay healthy?
Well, I think when I first started traveling, even like the first time in Nigeria, I was definitely sick. Everybody was saying, don't drink the water, blah, blah, blah. I ain't drink the water, but I think some water from me brushing my teeth must have got down there. And that definitely, because it's the change of the environment. But not just Africa, though. I mean, you can travel to Mexico, you can travel to the Caribbean islands. The environment in the water is always different everywhere. So it will take your body time to adjust. Now, being as though I've been to Ghana 4 times, I know when I first come, okay, I can't be wilding out. I'm going to have to stick to simple things and cook at home or something maybe, to try to get my body back intact. But, I mean, after about a couple days, like even this trip, I didn't have any problems. But when you jump, let's say you jump from here and you go to Kenya, it's a difference again. So you still are going to have to like maybe find foods that is not maybe, for me, I think is the water.
The water.
I do think
Okay.
it's the water, and you have to be careful with that. But usually I'm eating like fish and chips and bread. Yeah, keep it simple in the beginning, and then after that, then I'll explore the culture and the foods that they offer. Now, sometimes I miss bad things because in the States we're overly processed, okay? We're all lab rats. Seriously, our food is horrible. So sometimes I do crave certain things, but you ain't gonna die if you don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I get
like their sugar, I'm a sugar head. Their sugar is not gonna be what my sugar is gonna be. So if I can't get that high off of that sugar, I just don't want it.
Oh,
So
okay.
then you'll just be like, okay, well, let me go ahead and just have this or this. But I mean, food is great.
Okay.
Food is great everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere, and I feel that they accommodate everybody.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, because every country does. Like they have their culture of food, and then they may have some American food or some Chinese food,
Oh,
or
okay.
yeah. So it's not like, oh, I'm gonna starve. I have to bring my own food. I gotta ship my food. I ain't gonna have no food. No, no. They'll have food, but you just have to be careful of how you eat.
Was it up to your expectation, all the African countries that you went?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I mean, because I did research prior. So when you do your research prior, you kind of know what you're jumping into.
Okay.
Now, the first time I went to Senegal, because I had visited Nigeria and Ghana before,
Okay.
right? So when I went to Senegal and I could see the very first time, it was not developed the way that the other countries I went to were.
Oh, okay.
So that was like, whoa. But it didn't take long for it to develop, though.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what happened in a year or two, but you go there now and it's lights, camera, action.
Oh, okay.
But in the beginning, yeah, I think that was the only one. But what I did love about that country was the culture and the people.
Wow.
That was Senegal was my favorite country.
Oh. Can I get some in the comment
I
section?
love Ghana though. You know, I can always take a flight to Ghana when I'm getting tired of Senegal or whatever and
Okay.
need that Ghana, you know, slang.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that was the only one I would say. Yeah,
That's the only one that
I
you
think
say.
so because South Africa is like America.
Why? Why do you say that?
Is I could have stayed in America. I mean, they didn't have no culture. It's like
South Africa doesn't have culture. South African do not have culture.
I experienced it, and I went all over. So I was in Joburg, Durban, but I went to about one, two, three different places there, and even talking to the people because I like to talk to the people to learn the culture. And I was told to Google it.
What?
They told me to Google it for me to find the answer. So if I would ask them a question, they would say, Google it. And these were the people there.
And,
People that were born,
and raised
raised,
there.
and never left South Africa.
And they are telling you to Google
Google
to understand the culture of South Africa.
No, to answer a question that I would have thought they learned in school. So let's say, for example, well, what happened with the whole, I mean, it could just be anything. A lot of people wasn't very educated, and maybe it's because they didn't receive education. Maybe that was it. But I do have one South African friend, very intelligent guy, but he has traveled a lot too. He broke things down to me. Everything is like, oh, it's all set up. I mean, you feel like you're in America in South Africa.
You see how South Africa is built? You went there and you felt like you are in a state.
Yes.
And you people were not really connecting with you that much as different African countries were connecting with you.
Yes.
What do you think is missing in there, or they are not doing the right things that you feel like no, it's supposed to be like that? Maybe there are some certain things that they do and you wish other African countries should not do Otherwise, they will lose their culture or they will lose their, identity as Africans.
Well, I think definitely, of course, with the whole apartheid situation, it brung a lot of anger into South Africa. I mean, that's why you always hear about like high crime and you better not do this and you better not go there. That's one thing. I think that the people are tired. They definitely little roughnecks. Like they about their life. They can handle themselves. They give you that attitude and all that good stuff. But I think they are just some people were friendly and some people were just like stay in your lane, in your corner, in your bubble. You don't really mix. And I also realized they don't travel outside much because I guess they have everything they need within the country. But it is very diverse. It's very diverse. So some instances I was treated better by the Afrikaners. So the Afrikaners are the Caucasian Africans.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned me some stuff, y'all. So sometimes, they're kind of treating you a little better. But one thing is, I mean, it was what it was. I had a couple incidents there, and I had to ask the people, why y'all even treating me like this? Like, I'm coming in peace. Like, what did I do to you? Like, why are you so mad, And I felt like angry. And even, I went there with my guy, and it was his first time in South Africa. And at the time we got to that airport, they definitely discriminated against him. And he was ready to go. Like, they treated him like, what are you even doing here? Like, I don't know if they thought he was Nigerian or I don't know what it was, but it made him feel some kind of way. And I was even surprised myself of how, he was even treated in certain situations.
Wow, that's deep. Make sure you like and subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel. Where can they find you?
They can find me just on YouTube, Miko's Adventures. I've been a lot of places. I like to share my travels. And yeah, it's just a fun channel. It's a fun channel. I do it for fun. You ain't gonna find me on there every 5 minutes, but when I got some time, I'll post an adventure for you guys.
All right, thank you so much.
Peace. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, because he's epic.
Yeah.